Portions of the hotel that is called the Bridge Suite or the Michael Jackson Suite, simply because Michael Jackson was the first person to occupy that room.
Hello. Thank you.
The dock in which we just pulled out from, that is called the Prince George Dock. It is the largest dock of its kind here in the Caribbean, and it can hold up to 8 cruise ships at a time. Over to your left, the tallest structure on the dock, that is the pink and white structure, which is the Port Authority building. Still over to your left, formerly known as Hog Island.
There's a good job to have because the window washer.
Now, many years ago, the larger cruise ships such as the Disney Wonder were unable to come here and dock, simply because the water was too shallow. Therefore, back in 1969, the harbor had to be dredged out. At the present time, the water is approximately 40 feet deep.
That's right, there's 20 lifeboats, 10 on each side. 20 lifeboats.
3 cameras, so I can put 3 different lenses on there.
This man is going to take us back. Otherwise, they can't get the other one out.
Now, looking straight ahead at the mast and at the top of the hill, you can see a pink and white building with a small steeple on the top, and that is the government house. And if you were to visit the government house, you would find a statue of Christopher Columbus. And Christopher Columbus discovered the Bahamas back in 1492. Still straight ahead, you can see a tall, narrow bay structure with a clock on the wall, and that is the Christ Church Cathedral, which was built back in 1840. And this is the reason that Nassau became a city. Still straight ahead, you can see a pink and white building with a white French door and white French windows, and that is the Pompey Museum Bandu House. And many years ago, this was the site of a slave auction house.
Every half an hour, the last one's leaving at 5. Okay.
Expect to be up any earlier.
Now looking straight ahead at the vessel, just at the tip of Paradise Island, is the Paradise Island Lighthouse, which is made up of limestone. And back in 1991, a very significant thing happened. There was a surge in the water, and there were waves of over 20 feet which covered the lighthouse. And as you can see, it still remains standing. Persons wanting to take a picture of the cruise ship or of the harbor, this is a great time to do so. But as you go out, we do ask that you hold the handrails. Where's Michelle? At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we will be serving complimentary fruit punch on the first level at the rear of the boat. Persons wanting to receive a cup of fruit punch, you may see Herbert on the first level. The Bahamas is an archipelago made up of 700 islands and keys. Andros Island being our largest island, Bimini the smallest, and New Providence the capital. Here in the Bahamas, we're also known to be a tax-free haven, which means we do not pay taxes here. However, how would the government make its money? They would charge duty on any imported items here into the Bahamas. For instance, a car. They would charge 52% of the total cost of the car. And if it costs more than $20,000, we would then have to pay a total cost of 72%. Now during this tour, you will be able to see many beautiful properties alongside Paradise Island. But bear in mind, these properties are very expensive and can range anywhere from $500,000 up to $8 million. Now the beautiful pink home over to your left, this is owned by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Hall. How Dr. Hall obtained this property? One day he jumped into his boat, came over to Paradise Island, and made the former owner an offer he couldn't refuse. But the question still remains, what was the offer? The white home over to your left, that is owned by a very famous movie director, and his name is Mr. George. Leading to the small wooden home over to your left, this is owned by a gentleman by the name of Mr. Claps. And Mr. Claps owns an underwater dive company. And it is said if you can put a glass container over your head, that you can walk underwater. And Mr. Claps' son was married underwater, and she outlived them all.
She outlived them all. Amazing. Club Med, look at that. That's where everything's from drinks.
Over to your left, we have the Club Med Resort.
But they haven't.
And here in the Bahamas, we have two Club Meds. The first here on Paradise Island, and the second on the island of San Salvador. That's the island where Christopher Columbus first made landfall.
会員になったけど、全世界にあってね、
Now the sun feels great.
会員制ホテルみたいな感じ。
Look at them, that's the bridge.
Well, they're packed into that one.
Just
$25,000.
to your left where you can see the tennis court, here is where the Clubman property ends. Just in front of the tennis court is a small beach area, and many years ago that was a nude beach. But the beach had to be relocated to the other side of Paradise Island because it caused too many accidents in the harbor.
Look at all the houses down there. Yeah, all the bright colors. See, look how it's... Yeah.
Where the sun is roasting.
Did you get the hotel pad on there?
Now the beautiful pink hotel coming up over to your left. This is the Atlantis Hotel, recently completed back in 1998 at a cost of $850 million. The bridge area in which you can see adjoining the two portions of the hotel, that is called the Bridge Suite or the Michael Jackson Suite, simply because Michael Jackson was the first person to occupy that room. To occupy that room for one night will cost you $25,000, and you must rent it for the entire week. Just in front of the Atlantis Hotel is the Atlantis Marina, which can hold up to 63 ounces at a time. Now the beige and green building straight ahead of us, that is the Paradise Island Ferry Terminal, the gateway to Paradise Island. And here's where we'll be letting you off to continue the second portion of your tour over at the Atlantis Hotel. Before you disembark, ladies and gentlemen, please see myself, Latoya, and I will issue